If one day the speed kills me, do not cry, because I was smiling. Whether Paul Walker actually said those words or not, they became the epitaph of a generation. He was the California golden boy, the surfer with the crystal blue eyes and the easy smile. He was the heart of the Fast and the Furious, the franchise that turned street racing into a religion. But the cruelest joke that fate ever played on Hollywood was taking him in a car crash. On November 30th, 2013, millions of hearts broke instantly. He was 40 years old, he was in the prime of his life, and he was just trying to do something good. Today, we look in the rear-view mirror to celebrate the life of the man who taught us that the most important thing in life isn't the car you drive, it's the family you build. Paul William Walker IV wasn't desperate to be famous. Born in Glendale, California in 1973, he was a child of the sun. His real passion wasn't acting, it was the ocean. He studied marine biology in college and idolized Jacques Cousteau. He famously said, "Acting is my job, but surfing is my life." He was what we call a reluctant star. He acted to pay the bills, to travel, and to surf. He was the anti-Hollywood actor. He didn't care about the parties or the drama. He cared about authenticity. And that authenticity is exactly why the world fell in love with him when he stepped into the role of Brian O'Connor in 2001. He wasn't faking the cool, he was the cool. You can't talk about Paul without talking about Vin Diesel. On screen, they were Brian and Dom. Off screen, they were Pablo and Vin. They were brothers in every sense of the word. Vin described Paul as his other half, the yin to his yang. Paul was the calm to Vin's chaos. During the filming of the franchise, they grew up together. They became fathers together. Paul was the one who told Vin how to cut the umbilical cord when his daughter was born. It was a bond forged in asphalt and steel, a brotherhood that would eventually face the ultimate test. But here is the truth that makes his death so much harder to accept. Paul wasn't a reckless driver. He was a humanitarian. In 2010, after the devastating earthquake in Haiti, Paul didn't just write a check. He flew there. He got his hands dirty. He founded Reach Out Worldwide, a disaster relief organization. He funded it out of his own pocket. On the very day he died, November 30th, 2013, he wasn't racing. He was hosting a charity event in Santa Clarita, raising money for the victims of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. He spent his final hours taking pictures with fans, smiling, and trying to help strangers halfway across the world. It was around 3:30 p.m. Paul decided to take a short ride with his friend and financial advisor, Roger Rodas. Roger was driving his 2005 Porsche Carrera GT, a car known for being difficult to handle, a car some drivers called scary. They were only supposed to go for a quick spin around the block. But on Hercules Street, tragedy struck. The car lost control, hitting a concrete lamppost and a tree. The impact was devastating. The vehicle burst into flames almost instantly. Paul, the man who had survived impossible stunts in movies, was trapped. He didn't die doing something foolish. He died as a passenger leaving a charity event. The irony is suffocating. The production of Furious 7 was halted. The cast was broken. Vin Diesel couldn't even leave his house, but they decided to finish the movie for Paul. They used his brothers Cody and Caleb as body doubles and used CGI to give Brian O'Connor the retirement Paul never got in real life. The ending of Furious 7, set to the song "See You Again," is perhaps the most emotional scene in cinema history. When Dom and Brian look at each other one last time and the roads diverge, that wasn't acting, that was a real goodbye. Paul Walker was cremated, and his ashes were laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in the Hollywood Hills. He rests among the stars, surrounded by the nature he loved so much. He left behind his beautiful daughter, Meadow, who has continued his work with the Paul Walker Foundation, protecting the oceans her father loved. He is gone, but the road goes on. Vin Diesel named his daughter Pauline to keep his memory alive. Paul Walker taught us that life is fast. It can end in a split second. So love deeply, drive safely, and never turn your back on family. Rest in peace, Buster. We hope the waves are perfect up there. Did you cry at the end of Furious 7? Let us know in the comments. And please, subscribe. We do this for the legends. Paul Walker, 1973-2013.